Okay. How's everybody doing? Let me hear you. Let me hear you. All right, so remember you got a storm of applause coming in a minute. A storm of applause. Not yet though. Let me do the introduction first and then we'll hear the storm of applause. So we're going to do the workshop for the day is led by Peggy Stern. Put your hands together preliminarily for the full storm of applause for Peggy Stern. Put your hands together. Yeah. Okay. The workshop is about band leading, composing, and more. That's how it's described. Put your hands together for the band mates that are joining her. Paul Deemer on trombone. Paul Deemer. John Fremgen on bass. And Daniel DeFore on drums. Daniel DeFore. So, now is the time. This next applause will be the storm of applause as they're put together, as we put your hands together for this wonderful workshop. Storm of applause for Peggy Stern. Storm!
Okay, kids. Well, I didn't plan to injure myself right before this today, but the title of this masterclass is "The Show Must Go On." So, with that said, I'm pretty sure something's broken in here, so my left hand isn't going to be what it should be, which is, I've told my piano students, your left hand is your anchor, and my anchor is not feeling well. So I apologize for that in advance, but the purpose here really is to show you guys that there's other things that are in jazz besides the blues and the old standards. And I should tell you a little bit about how I got into jazz, because I was classically trained. How many of you are classically trained? Ah, see? That's a very big advantage for you. You can read, your ear has been trained by what you've heard, and you're gonna have a good old time. By the time I got to improvising, I had a whole lot of classical music that I had heard as I was growing up, and my dad loved show music, and so that was what was playing in the house. I don't know how it works nowadays, because you all have your headphones and everybody listens to different things, but back in the day, we had hi-fis, and so there was one record, which is now back in style, LP, and that would be put on by one of our parents. My mother loved classical music, my dad loved show music, so that's what I heard, that's what I was fed. Whatever you were fed as young children, and I'm going to go around and pick on some people, if I can find you, and ask you what you've been listening to, because I know that it isn't all blues, and it isn't all jazz music. Now, some of you are deep in, I don't mean jazz music, I mean bebop. For me, jazz covers a huge umbrella of different styles. For me, I came in playing salsa music and funk and started right away writing my own tunes. How many people here write their own tunes? Raise your hands high so I can see. Okay, so let me just say this and see if you can absorb it. At the time that I switched from classical to jazz, I wanted to be playing something that felt true to me and close to my heart. So I wrote a tune right away as soon as I figured out that that's what I wanted to do, having listened to Chick Corea's improvisations 1 and 2, which I highly recommend to all piano players, because it bridges the gap between, or the relationship actually, between classical music and jazz. So I would check those out if you can find them, improvisations 1 and 2. So then I went from there to writing my own music, and I got a lot of feedback. It's wonderful to write your own music. First of all, every person in this room has their own music, okay? It's inside every one of us. So with that said, we're gonna play one of my more well-known tunes. This one was written in about 7 minutes. Sometimes they just fall out of the sky on your head, and you feel lucky and you feel connected to whatever you're connected to, and it's a wonderful thing. This is one of those tunes. It's called Lila. Yeah, because it's the least of the left hand. I'm pretty sure I broke a bone in this hand, so forgive me. Okay, so I started this with a whole part. nice band. Very, very nice band. And this is an interesting thing. You know, it's a very interesting thing. It hurts a lot. I'm still playing on it. It hurts a lot, so it takes part of my brain away. So let's talk for a minute. First of all, that tune had a couple of interesting things in it. Did anybody notice? Oh, I shouldn't, this is too loud. These are all too loud, actually. Can somebody adjust that? Anybody?
Yeah, who's got it?
Ponder to the rescue. Yeah, I don't need that much, thank you. There were two things in that tune that changed while we were playing. Well, the tune itself has a change in it. Did anybody notice what that is? Yeah.
The drummer switched from brushes to like normal.
Well, he did, to normal. Brushes to normal, is that what you said? Mm-hmm.
Abnormal to normal.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, to me, brushes are normal. I like brushes. But yes, that was one thing. Anybody else notice anything within that tune? Yeah?
The rhythm changed at some point.
Thank you. You noticed. And what did we do? We went from what to what?
I don't actually know what it's called.
Well,
It got a little more upbeat.
it did get more upbeat. But what was the time signature in the first part? It's easy. You do know this. Anybody? Henry.
Was it 3/4?
It was in 3/4. And then what happened? Yes? It went to 4/4. It wasn't a straight 4/4. It was a samba 4/4. And usually it's done a little more delicately than that, but I'm missing a wing here, so it was a little clumsy. It's a little obvious. Usually it's just slips right in and slips right back out again. Does anybody have any questions about that tune or anything you want to say about it or any of the players?
Something else happened though.
What?
Musically, there was a big change in the tune.
That's right, I forgot. That's within the tune itself. Did anybody hear? Not about the time and the groove, not about that, but within the, I'm going to give you a big hint. Harmony? Anybody hear it? Oh. Shall we play it and see if they can find it? Raise your hands when you hear the change. Don't you fall down.
I know.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. We switched keys. We went into G minor. We were in A flat, and we went into G minor. So I think that's why the tune is popular with players, because it's really fun to play over that. So.
And it goes a half step up, but to minor. Like minor initially wants to go, half step down,
Half step down.
but major, but
Right.
it goes minor. That's
Right,
cool.
exactly. And it just happened. How many people have ever had the experience of sitting down at the piano or the guitar or whatever you do and had a tune just pop out? See? That's wonderful. Because as many people as there are in this room and every other room in the whole world and outside, there are that many musics on the planet. Everyone is unique. Everyone has their own music. You don't have to imitate anybody. All you need to do as a musician is make sure you're telling the truth. Your truth. Okay, so that's my message to you. Okay, so we're going to try another one of these. This one is called No Weevil. And this one really relies on my left hand, so forgive me. No Weevil was written at Halloween a couple of years ago. Yeah. No, just you're in a minute. This is called Tooth and Nail Productions. play, but anybody got something to say?
Let's hear it for Paul for reading that incredible line.
Hey, Peggy,
What?
can you talk about the origins of the sounds in this piece?
Of this one?
I get a kind of a specific kind of set of feelings, and I'd like to see where you're coming from.
Well, you know, this one also kind of fell out, and see, this is what I mean by jazz isn't necessarily gonna be the blues or standards. It's gonna be, in my world, if it contains improvisation, then it's jazz. So it could be anything. It can be Western swing, it can be samba, it can be salsa. It can be really anything, as long as there's some improvisation, as long as you've got sections open for improvisation. That said, I don't know, Don, I've wondered that myself. I don't know where this came from. It sort of sounds a little classical, a little klezmer, a little circus vibe. Halloween, because it was Halloween.
You told me it was, what'd you say before we started? Or the you said there is no feel, or there is no style that you can put on it. It's a circus Peggy jazz.
There you go, circus Peggy jazz. There it is.
Peggy circus jazz.
That's it. That's right, thank you.
So that's what we did.
Yeah, and that's what we did. Any other questions, comments? Yeah.
Can you just give a quick overview of what your process is to write songs?
Oh, boy howdy. Now here's the thing. You get an idea, and you know it's a good idea. You're messing around, and you get an idea, and you know it's good because it sticks in your head the rest of the day. You can't get it out of your mind, so you know you're writing a tune. You know you've got something. The next part is the hard part. It's like, well, so what happens next? What do I do next? And at that point, the first part is a gift, right? Where you come up with something that is pretty neat and catchy, and you love it, and it loves you, and then you have to use your craft to make the rest of the tune fit. That's when they don't fall out of the sky on your head. And I spend a lot of time in those. I wish I could play. There's one I have going right now, and I've gotten almost 3/4 of the way through it, but there's some things that I'm not happy with, and so I go back, I throw those things away, just throw them out, because it didn't really work, or it's too much craft and not enough art. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's the craft of writing is very, 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 very difficult, and it's an hour eater. You look at your clock after you've been sitting there for 2-3 hours trying to work out this puzzle. It's mostly in puzzle form. Does that help? Is that what you've experienced?
I mean, I've never really tried to write anything before. I've had ideas, but never really gotten to the work.
Yeah, well, you know, we all have these phones. So there's that little app on the phone that you know, everybody's got it. I think, what's it called? Voice memo. Just record it before you forget it, because I forget it even when I don't bump my head. I forget what I've done. So I make sure that I keep those morsels, I call them morsels, in my phone so that I can check it out later. And if it's one of those morsels that's in your head all day, you don't need to do that, but it's a safekeeping. And then you record yourself playing it, and you play a little more, and you see if that works. And you know when it doesn't work. You know, your whole system will tell you that, nah, that doesn't really work. Or, in my case, you know, that's a song that I wrote before. I plagiarized myself, so that's not gonna work. But that said, as you look at the classical composers and the jazz composers, you can tell who wrote songs. Like if you listen to Beethoven, well, that's gonna be Beethoven, even if I don't know the tune. Or Mozart, I know what Mozart sounds like. Same thing. My music sounds like Peggy music, especially at this point. And I have, doesn't hurt, I have 4 tunes in the real book, so that kind of step up for me, you know, was an affirmation that I'm going in the right direction. So have at it. Anybody else? Somebody? Ponder.
Hi. little bit more about your personal relationship between the arts and the craft. You know, like I think that maybe some of the adults have a little deeper understanding of what you might mean there, but I think some of our younger students may not have thought about it as much yet. So could you talk a little bit more about your personal relationship between art and craft?
Well, I mean, just to define those two terms, the art is when the morsel of music or the whole tune, if you're lucky, but usually it's not, is holy to you in a way. It's like you know that's your voice and you've said something that's true to you, so therefore it's going to be true when you play it in public, and that's the best thing. But then, working the tune so that I keep the artistic part of it, which was the original thought that I had, the original idea, and then I'm expanding on it. And in music, I wish I could show you, it's this hand. I'd like to show you this tune that I've been writing. Let me see if I can play it. Gives you the first part of the tune. I can show you where I got stuck. Would you like to hear it? Because I came up with, at this point, okay. Right here. This chord. Now, I've come from here to here, but it's a very different color, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to really do that. So with me, it's a lot of it is about harmony, and then I get stuck in the harmonies trying to make it work, and then I remember, hey, this is all about melodies because we're writing songs. So then I go and I listen to what is in the melody, and then it helps me get through it. So eventually I gave the okay to that part, and now I'm in the next part of the tune, which is also a transposition into another key. So, but that's a little detailed for you, but does that help, Ponder?
That's great.
Okay. I can't believe I played that with this finger. Anybody else? Questions? Something to say over there? You're having such fun. Henry's friend. Yes, young lady, are you having fun? Good. I'm glad. Anybody have anything to say? Any questions, faculty? Yeah.
I'd like to ask you about who inspires you as a composer of I mean, jazz or classical or whatever. Like, who are your favorites? Like, we all want to write songs. Like, who do you think would really inform us on both the art and the craft of composition specifically?
Well, here's, the best way I can answer that is that I absorb everything that I hear, as do we all. And so a lot of it is classical. I came from Ravel, so there's a lot of impressionistic stuff that got into my soul, into my corpus. And then in jazz, everybody. So I would go back to when I first started, Art Landy and Keith Jarrett, McCoy Tyner, Horace Silver. In the simplicity, I got from Horace Silver, we're doing a song in choir that's a Horace Silver tune, was the simplicity of what he does makes it really fun and easy to groove on. That's part of the deal is I want this to be fun for people to play on. I don't want them restrained and restricted, although a little bit. You gotta restrict them sometimes. So.
Especially John.
Yeah.
And trumpet too. So, does that help? More names?
Actually,
Evans?
you started a thread. I'd like to go a little further on, which is Horace Silver for simplicity and fun to play. You go with a couple more jazz characters that are in your
Miles Davis got me in the sparsity of his notes and what they meant and where they were, what they mean and where they are placed. Truth be known, I'll say it, I'm not ashamed. I'm not a Charlie Parker fan. It could happen. I know. Here come the jazz police, I know. OMG.
Hello, 911. Give me the police.
The jazz police, we're all jazz police. But yeah, there were certain parts of jazz that didn't appeal to me when I was coming into it. And I've always had now I'm older and I'm more confident, but coming up, I'm like, well, is what I'm doing jazz? Because I'm really combining what my roots are, which is classical, and you can't help what you heard when you were a little kid. That's not a choice. You were in an environment, and this is the music that was playing. So did that answer?
Like
What you-
about the Thelonious Monk, if you like him, or if it's Herbie Hancock, if you like him, or
Herbie Hancock.
Wayne Shorter, if you like
Yeah,
very specific things.
it was Herbie Hancock, Maiden Voyage. It was Tyner, the Real McCoy. It really got me.
Wow.
Of course, I can't
Make
do
those, these records are classic records.
these are.
Amazing.
The Cannonball Adderley Nancy Wilson album was seminal to my whole being. I listened to that and nothing but that. The double album with the double bass album. Two basses. I think it was Niels Henning and Sam
Jones?
Sam Jones. Yeah, it didn't get very far. It's green.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And
I love that house.
good. Philip Catherine. I guess I don't have a concussion after all. I just pulled Philip Catherine out of my,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so, and the young man behind had a question.
How do you like incorporate your musical inspiration into your compositions?
How do I do it? Well, it's what I'm made of. So I don't work at incorporating them. It just happens because I have so much of that kind of training. And I play Bach every day to warm up. That's what I do. That's my warm up. It keeps my brain healthy and my fingers responding in a couple of different ways. So yeah, it's just whatever you've had. I'd like to ask someone to volunteer. Tell me what music is playing in your house.
Even though I'm in a jazz camp, my mom plays like rock and grunge music from the 90s and the 2000s. That's how I got into guitar. Wow.
That's really interesting. Yeah, right.
Well, my dad's a jazz musician, so he plays a lot of that, but also a lot of like classic rock, like Grateful Dead and
Uh-huh.
like
Right.
a variety.
Big variety of stuff. And you've absorbed all that, and you're going to spit it out as time goes by. You'll see. Henry.
A lot of the music in my house that's played by like my parents is like some jazz, rock, and country.
Jazz, rock, and country.
Yeah.
Oh. That's what you need in Texas.
Yeah.
Someone had their hand up back there.
Yeah.
My
I can't hear you, sweetie. You got to shout.
dad listens to a lot of heavy metal.
Heavy metal?
Wow.
Wow. You guys. Yeah, right here.
My dad listens to a lot of like Wayne Shorter and like later Miles Davis.
Right. I forgot to mention Wayne Shorter. I mean, big time Wayne Shorter.
My mom really likes fusion music, so we listen to a lot of modern music stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, John's brother-in-law is the producer of the Broadway show Buena Vista Social Club. John's brother-in-law. You don't know who you've got up here. We're, connected. You want to go see the show? Just talk to John. We did last year, and it was great.
Remember that. Thanks, John.
Definitely. I saw some other hands up.
Give us 5 minutes
5 minutes.
before Jazz Party. Give us 5 minutes.
Joe.
I was raised on my reaction music, that's when I decided I needed to be a saxophone, and the rest is history.
How old were you?
When I got my first saxophone, I was about, I would say 9, about 10 o'clock, about 2 years old. But, yeah, about 10, yeah, about 10 o'clock. And, I was a poor kid, and I hated the trumpet, and I always wanted to sat, and I'm sitting there, this guy that he gave me my first one. And, yeah, but pretty much self-taught until I was 25. And I just love teaching jazz and learning jazz. I'm still learning. I learn from these kids every day.
Me too. I think this is a really special group. Y'all are really sweet, and I was enjoying jazz camp until somebody came and just pushed me down. I don't know what that was. So, but just keep in mind that the message I want to get across is that you are worthy of your own music. Don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. Don't compete. There's nobody but you in you. So that said, we're going to finish with a little tune of mine. It's a little bit of a well, it's called Enemy. I'll let you hear it.
One more time for Paul Dimmer on flugelhorn, John Fremgen on bass, Daniel Dufour on drums, and the wonderful Peggy Stern. Storm of applause, let me hear you. There we go. Awesome. Great job. So composition is super important, so I hope that you, keep pursuing possibilities for writing your own songs and studying great compositions of all styles so that you can get some input and kind of charge your batteries and you build some vocabulary and get some ideas, right? And then just run off and make your own journeys. We love it. We're gonna have jazz choir in a couple minutes. So quick bathroom break and then come on up and do jazz choir. Thanks again for listening, guys.